everyone! Today is Tuesday. I have a special guest star today. She was a very good girl. Daddy let she and Stella out the door and Stella ran away and Annie came back. So she just wanted to tell everybody that she came back and she wanted to say, what did you want to say? Hi. Yeah. And then she wants to go to sleep. So anyway, I thought you might like to see Annie the good girl today. All right, it's Tuesday. And it is a special day in history today. Another special day in history today, not because it's Tuesday, but because today is April 28th. Remember 8, make an S and don't be late. Hurry back up to make an 8. And we all know that 28 is a 2 and an 8. But really, it's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 2 10s plus 8 1s. 8. And the reason why it's a good day in history, you ask? Well, let me just tell you. Today is Aurora's birthday. She's 5 years old today, so let's all sing to her. For today is your birthday, that is what I've been told. What a wonderful birthday, you are 1 more year old. On the cake there'll be candles all lighted for you. And the whole world will be singing, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Aurora, 5 years old today, happy birthday to you. Hey Aurora, I know you'll make it a great day. You always do. You need to shine bright like the Aurora Borealis. That's what you're named after. So, I hope you have a great day. Happy birthday. All right. Well, it's Tuesday, April 28th, and it's raining. And guess what? Someone had to go out and mow the lawn while running through the raindrops. Yeah. And the reason why is because Mr. Larry said it was too wet to mow yesterday, which it kind of was, but it was really wet to mow today. I came in and my socks were all wet, my sneakers, the bottom of my pants, my coat was all wet, my hair was all wet. But the lawn got mowed, so that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Well, today we're going to work on some numbers here first, just quickly. 12, 13, 8, 3, 2, 4, 19, 16, 7, 0, 1, 14, 10, 20, 17, 15, that's the one that a lot of you forget when you're counting. Comes after 14, before 16. 5, 18, 11, and 6. All right, yesterday we had a story about Africa, right? Honey, Honey Lion. It was about a little bird and a honey badger. And it was basically the badger wasn't very kind and didn't share and say thank you to the little honey gatherer bird. And so the honey gatherer bird led that old badger to a hungry lion. Well, that was yesterday's story. So today we're going to shift a little bit. I was down in the basement looking for some things, and I found a book, and I thought you might like it. It's a short one, And it's by Eric Carle. You guys all know Eric Carle. He's the one who wrote The Very Hungry Caterpillar, which we will get to next week, because we're going to talk about bugs next week. I have a song for you too, bugs. This one is called Pancakes, Pancakes. And here's your pan. It's got a smiley face. And here's the fire that the pan is cooking on. So you may have heard this one before. And remember, Eric Carle is known for his pretty pictures. He does things with paint and then he cuts up the paper. This one is just a dot picture. You know, you can do just dots and make a beautiful picture. Pancakes, pancakes. The sun is shining. Kiki-riki, crowed the rooster. Jack woke up, looked out the window and thought, I'd like a big pancake for breakfast. You know, I was thinking about pancakes that whole time I was mowing the lawn. Because I just jumped out of bed this morning and got up and mowed the lawn. But guess what I had for breakfast instead of pancakes, because I was too lazy to make pancakes. I had scrambled eggs. Oh well. Okay, Jack's mother was already up and busy. Mother, said Jack, I'd like to have a big pancake for breakfast. I'm busy and you will have to help me, she said. Well, how can I help? Asked Jack. We will need some flour, she replied. Look at the cat under the table. Ain't cute. So where do you think they're going to get flour from? Usually, I buy my flour from the grocery store. Probably your mom buys flour from the grocery store. But back in the day, a long time ago, and even now, some people still grind their own flour. I know a lady that does. Take a sickle. This is a sickle right there. It's a kind of tool. And you use it to kind of slice like this to cut wheat. So Mom said, take a sickle and cut as much wheat as a donkey can carry. Then take it to the mill. And the miller will grind it into flour. Miller. That's my last name, Miller. Maybe somewhere back in Mr. Larry's family, somebody was a miller. They used to grind the wheat into flour. Now, when Jack had cut enough wheat, he put it on the back of the donkey's back and took it to the miller. Now, this is a wheat field. And here's Jack and the donkey with a lot of wheat on him. Can you grind this wheat for me? He asked. I need it for a big pancake. Well, first we must separate the grain from the chaff, said the miller. And he gave Jack a flail. This is a flail. And spread the wheat onto the ground. The miller took another flail and began to beat the wheat with it. Jack helped with that threshing, and soon there was a big pile of straw and chafing and a small pile of grain. Did you know that's how they do that? They beat it. Well, this is back in the day, and this is the mill, and it's run by a water wheel. Have you ever seen a water wheel? I have. And the water turns the wheel, and that helps the grinding stone turn. The miller poured the grain onto a large flat stone. You see it? On top was a round millstone connected to the water wheel on the outside, and you can see it's connected all through here. The water wheel turned round and round, turning the millstone round and round too, to grind the grain into flour. And at last the miller handed Jack a bag of flour. What shape is that millstone and what shape is that water wheel? Do you know the answer? I bet you do. It's a circle. Here's the flour, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, now we need an egg. Jack went to the black hen and fed her some grain that had slipped into his pocket while he had been threshing. Cluck, cluck, said the black hen and went inside the hen house. And then she said, cluck, cluck, one more time and laid an egg. Now, do you think that chickens lay eggs like that just because you tell them go lay an egg? They really don't. But they do lay eggs. Well, here's an egg shed, said Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, but we need some milk. Now, I buy my milk from the grocery store, as you probably do too. I usually, though, get my eggs from a friend who has a hen house, and he has a bunch of hens, chickens, mommy chickens that lay eggs. And so that's where I usually get my eggs from. But you can also buy them at the grocery store. Same kind of eggs, just I get mine fresh. Anyway, so they need milk. Well, Jack went to the spotted cow and began to milk her. Moo, moo, said the spotted cow as the milk squirted into the pail. And usually, I think Elizabeth asked this question, usually farmers milk 2 times a day, once in the morning and once in the afternoon to get milk. Here's the milk, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, we need some butter. So Jack got the butter churn. I've never done that. And held it between his knees. His mother scooped the cream from the top of the milk and put it into the butter churn. Jack pushed the churn handle up and down, and finally the cream turned into butter. Now, you could make butter with your mom simply in a jar, or your dad. In a jar, you take cream and you put that in the jar, you kind of fill it, and then you put the top on the jar really tightly and you just keep shaking, 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 shaking. And pretty soon you will have cream. Try it and see, it's really good. Here's the butter, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, we need to build a fire. So Jack went to the woodshed and brought some firewood. Now, I cook mine on my stove, but I have cooked over a wood fire when I've been camping and stuff. I've never cooked a pancake that way, though. Here's the firewood, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, wouldn't you like to have something sweet on your pancake? So Jack went down to the cool cellar and he pulled a jar of strawberry jam from one of the shelves. Now, those of you who know me pretty well, you know that I can't have strawberry jam because I'm allergic to strawberries. But what I like is blueberry on my pancake or maple syrup. So here's the strawberry jam, Jack shouted. Let's make a pancake. In the kitchen, Jack's mother had filled the table with the flour, the egg, the milk, the butter. There was also a mixing bowl, a cup, a wooden spoon, a ladle, a frying pan, a plate, a knife, a fork, and a spoon, and a jar of strawberry jam. So here we have the egg, here we have the butter, here we have the flour, and here we have the milk and the cup to measure. And his mother said, pull a cupful of flour into the bowl. The flour, by the way, is in a bag. That's why it looks funny like that. It's a flour sack, we used to call them. Break an egg into the flour and stir. Pour a cupful of milk over the flour and egg and stir again until the batter is smooth and doesn't have any lumps. So it takes a little while to stir that batter. Now Jack's mother heated the frying pan over the fire and added a piece of butter. The butter melted fast. Then she said to Jack, now pour a ladleful of batter into the hot pan. After a minute or two, she looked at the underside of the pancake. It was golden brown. Now watch, she said. I'll turn the pancake over. Ready? Here's where I always have the problem, turning the pancake over. You have to wait for little like bubbles to form and then pop on the pancake. Maybe if you make pancakes with mom or dad, you could stand up on a chair and be a safe distance away and watch those little bubbles pop. And when a lot of them have popped, then you know it's time to turn the pancake over. Ready, shouted Jack. Flip, said his mother, and up and over went the pancake high into the air and landed right in the pan. I can't do that. I just take a spatula and flip it. I can't do that. I'd have pancake all over the kitchen and two very happy little dogs with burnt tongues. Well, in another minute or two, that pancake was crisp on the underside as well. Oh, that's making me hungry. Then she slipped the pancake from the frying pan onto the plate and spread some strawberry jam on it. And now, Jack, his mother started to say. But Jack said, oh, Mama, I know what to do now. Yummy. He had a nice, yummy breakfast. But it took him, and there's the end page, it took him a very long time to make that pancake because he had to get the flour and, slice it up and then take it to the mill and then thresh it. Remember when they were beating it with that thing? And then the miller had to grind the flour, and then he had to go get the chicken to lay an egg and get butter from the cow and churn the butter, or milk from the cow and churn that milk, and then they still needed milk, and that was a long process. He had to go get wood and start the fire. It's a lot easier for us because we go to the grocery store, we buy the flour, the milk, the eggs, the butter, and we cook it on our stove. Or if you have an electric frying pan, you might want to cook it in your electric frying pan too. But anyway, so I was thinking about some other breakfast things that you could have. What are some things that you can eat for breakfast? Well, you can eat cereal, cold cereal, or you can eat hot cereal like oatmeal or cream of wheat or cream of rice. You can eat bananas and peanut butter, apples and peanut butter, yogurt and fruit. Fruit is always good for breakfast. Did you know that you can even eat carrots for breakfast? They're really good for you if you eat carrots for breakfast. I like to make eggs and put some vegetables in them, scrambled eggs and put vegetables in them. You can eat those for breakfast. Mr. Larry's favorite breakfast is cold pizza. And I have to confess, my favorite breakfast is leftover birthday cake with a little bit of ice cream on top. But I don't do that very often, just every now and again. And sometimes, especially after Thanksgiving, I love to have a piece of pie for breakfast. Apple pie with a piece of cheddar cheese on top. Ooh, yum. But you know what? I never do lollipops for breakfast or jelly beans. Don't do those things. Just not my thing. Anyway, think about some things that you could have for breakfast. And also, have you ever thought about having breakfast for dinner? It's one of my favorite things to do for dinner. Breakfast for dinner. Maybe Mom or Dad will make you breakfast for dinner if you suggest it, and you can help. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Miss you all and love to you all. Oh, by the way, when I was out mowing the lawn today, there was a spider. And guess what? That teeny weeny spider crawled up the water spout. And then down came the rain and got Miss Patty all wet. You know the rest of the story. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.